be responsible for my bills, and that's not right. They are still responsible for those bills. And just so you understand, Susan, I'm not trying to be paranoid. I'm not trying to say that people are purposely misleading employees or things like that. Sometimes, most human resources people are very well versed in most things.
Right.
But, it may be a small company where they don't have a lot of workers' comp claims, and the employee handbook says, if somebody comes and you're injured, you have to go see the company clinic. Right. So I'm not saying they're trying to purposely mislead anybody, right, but they may not know exactly what the law is. And again, the law is very clear on that point.
Very, very important to note that. I've also read, Kevin, along those lines, that sometimes the employer's insurance company actually shows up at the doctor appointments for the injured employee. Is that okay?
Well, again, it's kind of a gray scale on this one. So it usually, or a lot of times I should say, that an insurance company will hire a nurse case manager or something along that title to go with people to their doctor's appointments, especially in situations where either treatment has gone on for a while or if it's a very serious injury. Mm-hmm. Now, the first thing I want to remind everybody is that there's nothing that says that you have to allow that person to be there. So there's nothing in the Act that says the insurance company has the right to have somebody go to your appointment with you and talk to your doctor. I will usually allow it when I am representing a client. And the reason is twofold. One, first of all, I know what to look for. Right. I know what they can and can't do, which is basically if they step over any guidelines I give them, mm-hmm, I can say to them, that's it, you're done. But I know what to look for and what to pay attention to, so I will actually do it because I'm also going to pay them somewhat of a compliment. Is if it's handled correctly, they can at times make treatment, get authorizations for treatment perhaps a little bit quicker as opposed to waiting for the doctor's office to send a note to the insurance company.
Oh, okay.
But I'm also going to say, and again, I don't mean this from a stance of being paranoid or anything, because I'm not. Mm-hmm. An insurance company is a business. They have their jobs, and their jobs are to pay as little on each claim as possible.
Right, right.
I'm going to tell you right now that if they didn't think they were going to be able to cut costs by having this person, paying this person to be there, they wouldn't be paying that person to be there. So again, not to create a sense of paranoia in people, but you have to understand going into a claim that even in an uncontested claim where your benefits are getting paid and your medical bills are getting paid, mm-hmm, you have to understand that the insurance company's interests are completely opposite to what your interests are.
Right, right. I think it's very important that our viewers remember to take charge. They're in charge.
Correct.
Very important. So, Kevin, what if my doctor says that I need surgery? Mm-hmm. This is a workman's comp issue. Can I get a second opinion, or am I limited like that?
The Workers' Compensation Act gives you the right to get treatment from two doctors. Now, it sounds a little bit restrictive, but first, let me kind of tell you what that means. In law terms, we say two doctors, but it's going to be more than two doctors. Right. First of all, emergency room visits don't count in that two-doctor rule. So if I get hurt and I go to the emergency room, that doesn't use up one of my choices of doctors. So I do that, and then I go to my family doctor. Now, my family doctor refers me to a specialist for whatever my injury might be.
Right.
That's still part of my first doctor.
Oh.
So any referral, as long as there's a chain of referrals that goes back to the first doctor that you saw, and again,
right,
other than emergency room, that's all part of that first doctor.
Okay.
Then at any time, I have the right to say, I'd like to get an opinion from somebody completely different. And then I can go see somebody else. That would be then my second choice of doctors. And then we have that same rule as far as referrals, chain of referrals in that one.
Right, right. Talking about doctors and this rule of two, I'll call it, what about the situation where an employee inadvertently submits to the company doctor? Does that count as one doctor?
It can, and that's one of the dangers of seeing a company clinic. And I don't mean that, again, in a paranoid way. I know I'm coming off sounding a little bit paranoid in this. I'm not. I mean, my job is to protect people's rights.
Right.
And sometimes when you do things, as you just stated, inadvertently, you can give up a right.
Right.
If you see a company clinic, chances are if you see the company clinic once because your employer told you to, they're not going to hold that as your choice of doctors. Okay. But if you see the company clinic and you keep going back to the company clinic, that may then become your choice of doctors, and so you want to be careful about that. And that's why you should really seek treatment from your own doctors right off the bat.
Right. Well, this is such an important topic, Kevin.